Selamat welcome! Today we're fighting against the goth boyfriend with mummy issues, aka Florian. He's the Earth Runeblade of the Rosetta set, so he's very brand new, and his game plan is being very mid-rangey, blocking with 2 cards, playing 2 cards, decomposing, and getting his hero ability online, at which point he will outvalue any and every deck in the meta when he can block with 3 cards and then just pitch a single blue to activate Grasp and then swing with Reaping Blade. So a total of 5 damage, 2 of which arcane, 3 physical. That's an endgame that not a lot of decks can compete with. And when he gets to keep multiple cards in hand, he can send huge attacks that has massive value, like Felling of the Crown, paired with Bramble Spark, or Plow Under to get rid of cards either from your hand or your arsenal with either of those cards, which are super high value Earth Majestics. So let's see whether Team Lightning can beat out Team Earth in this battle for Runeblade of the Elements. And without further ado, let's go straight to the gameplay. Okay, today I'm fighting none other than Rahman, the best Runeblade player in Indonesia. A lot of you might not know him yet. It's because he hasn't really traveled outside of Indonesia. But when he gets the chance to do that, I'll bet you the APAC region will tremble at his Runeblade mastery. He's been a Runeblade main since day one. He has all the Runeblade cards foiled out, blinged out, signed. So be ready. We're in for a huge challenge. So up against Florian, we were sent to go first. What we're going to run, because it's going to be a long match, we want to be on Tunic, and we want to be on Face Purgatory. Why we want to be on Face Purgatory instead of on Crown of Providence while they're on CNC is because they're also on Plow Under, which doesn't care about blocking. It just tucks our arsenal immediately. And second, Face Purgatory is very good against them. They run huge attacks and they usually have a card left over that they want to arsenal when they attack with anything other than Falling Off the Crown. And this is a value matchup. We want to get as much value as possible, mostly offensive, but we also want to deny them arsenaling a big attack or denying them to arsenal a dreact against us. And this helps do that. So we're going to keep our main board as it is. We don't want to run Cokes, and we're not going to be on the Blast plus Sigil package since we want to keep the Electrifies for the non-attack count for our Face Purgatory. So let's just send it. Okay, we have the option to just play out the CLV, but I don't think that's the best thing to do. What I like doing here is just creating an embodiment and then arsenaling the CLV, deny them the chance to fill their graveyard. We don't want them to fill their graveyard. And we're setting up for a good next turn. We have Go Again and we have CLV. And arsenaling CLV is also great for this reason, because we don't really care about CNC. So we can pass blocks, and on trigger we can play out the CLV so it does not get destroyed. Overall, good turn cycle. They only got 7 damage in, and they only have a single action, not even an earth one, in their graveyard. What we want to do now is probably start off with Rabble, so we know what's on top of our deck. Hopefully they don't block out here. If I could do that again, I'd probably attack with Flittering Charge first, so we're guaranteed to have the ESD value. Because if we do it this way, if we play the ESD to give the Flittering Charge a Go Again, we're not getting Yeah, we're not getting the +3 if we don't draw anything off of it. I like doing this a lot, swinging with Starfall, even though it's pretty telegraphed that it's going to be a 2-power with Go Again. Sometimes they just don't respect it. And we know that our top deck is something that's good enough to Arsenal. So if we either strip their hand and prep for another turn, or we get a damage in and we get a card for our arsenal. And if they don't have a dreact, we're also stripping a piece of their armor, which is pretty good. Stripping armor early against Florian is very good because they don't have the bark skin effect of creating an embodiment live yet. But do remember we're behind on life total here. Okay, they're just passing. Starting off with Static Shock is interesting. We could start off with Snatch, but you never want Snatch to hit, so there's even a bigger incentive to block it out, because Snatch plus CLV means we draw 2 cards. Meanwhile, Static Shock doesn't seem very threatening, so it might put them in a psychological stance of, yeah, I could let it hit. That's what we're aiming for right now. Because they've already spent their front half of both the bark skin and the grasp. Seems like they have a dreact here. If they do, then it kind of sucks a little bit. Yep, they do. But do they have the earth cards? They do, and Autumn Touch and Germinate. Whew, it's gonna be real tough to crack. Okay, we're going to use Tunic to swing weapon because we already played a lightning card. Okay, they're giving a card here. Okay, we're going to, oh, no, not do that. Here's a thing that we could do because we don't have more go-agains. We could just grasp into Snatch, making it very hard to block both the Rune Chant and Snatch. So we're hoping to get at least 1 draw from the CLV if they choose to block out Snatch. It's kind of sad that this is not a lightning card, the Static Shock. If it was, we would get, even if they used their entire hand to block this out, we would be able to keep our CLV for an extra turn. Seems like they're very happy just donating their hand every single turn to deny us the CLV value, which we haven't gotten any value other than cantripping off of it. So they're doing a really good job of just preventing things happening. They might have another root-bound carapace. Yeah. Kind of sad. But yeah, it is what it is. This is a decent hand for us to push. We can use both sides. It's a lightning card, so it enables our weapon and hero ability. Okay, we start off with Rabble. Okay, we see a Goth off the top. We are going to miss out on 1 value from the Arcanic Shockwave because it does not have Go Again. We don't want to miss out on 2 value rather than 1 value. So we want to swing weapon first and then Arcanic, no views because we have no lightning cards in hand, and then we create an embodiment for the next turn. Oh, they're using both halves of the bark skin here is great for us. And we're going to weapon here. Lastly, we're going to Arcanic Shockwave. So if they don't have a dreact, this will take their entire hand. And we set up an embodiment for next turn. So yeah, as you can see, it's been a couple of turns. It's turn 4 already, and we've only dealt 1 damage to the Florian. Yeah, they have a ton of dreacts. So if you're on Exude, then that's a thing that you really want to bring in against Florian. It stops all the sync blows and the root bound carapaces, and a ton of decks are even using like yellow or blue carapace now. Wow, they're using their face purgatory very aggressively, not maximizing the value that they get, choosing to preserve their life total here so they can keep this 2 card, probably sending a disruptive attack our way or decomposing. Yes, Felling of the Crown. Felling of the Crown is very, very strong. Probably bottom our Lightning Press, and even though they don't have a card in hand, this hand's not good enough. I mean, we can send like 1 and 7 Arsenal Giaf, but we can also get our face purgatory value now. Well, it's completely blocking 8 and we're drawing a card. Okay. Oh, we're only blocking 7 because this is 2 block. Yep. That's fine. We're going to cash in our face purgatory. The draw's not that great, but c'est la vie. Still, most of the time going to be a 2 card 8. We start off with Gone in a Flash. And there is a world where we just arsenal our Ravenous Rabble. So we have an attack with Go Again to start for our next turn. And it's gonna suck if we get hit by Plow Under, which we haven't seen any yet, but they're really happy to like block 2 cards, send 2 cards. So we might strand a card in their hand, but not really because they're going to be able to arsenal it. Let's just send it. Okay, we have Sizzle on top. So yeah, it's 5 turns in. They've decomposed 4 Earth cards, and we've dealt 2 damage because they blocked out with their armor a lot. We've already taken 3 plus 3 plus 2, 8 armor value. So if they hadn't blocked with armor whatsoever, they'd be at a much lower life total. Okay, we're going to have Tunic up for next turn. E-Strike for 7. Yeah, I feel like we're going to Sizzle Starfall into second strike. Depending if this has Go Again or not, then we're going to send a Snatch. If it doesn't, we make an embodiment and arsenal it, but we're just taking the 7. It's vanilla damage. We don't want to use armor for stuff that's not like CNC and Erase Face. Sizzle, the reason I like it over Weave Lightning is because it works with weapons. If we had Sizzle, if we had Weave Lightning in this spot, we would have had to send the second strike, which sucks because there's no way it's getting Go Again. This way we have a Go Again second strike, which is great. We're at a 10-point deficit right now. We need to catch up. We need to see our other CLVs. Ooh, they already blocked with 2 cards, so they need to have a dreact or spend both cards to deny us a card, or if their card is just like Plow Under, then they don't mind us having an arsenal because it's going to be tucked anyway. Ooh, Felling of the Crown. Yes, we love to see that. We don't want them to have Felling. It's a 2 card 11, which is nasty. Okay. We probably want to Arsenal Arc Lightning. So we're going to E-Strike bottom ESD. Draw card. Oh, yeah. E-Strike draw card just feels so nice. And they're off of the face purgatory, so we don't need to worry about sending big attacks now. Usually in the early game, while they still have face, and we have an important card that we want to arsenal, I don't like sending like a big like 7 power attack up front. I usually leave the buffs for the later attacks. This revealing lightning press. We're going to use the press here because we have not played a lightning card and we want to use our tunic for value, swing in for 2. I mean, you could argue that we should save that for arc lightning next turn, which means the starfall is getting 3 value instead of 2, but it's turn 7. We have not seen a single plow under. There might be a world that they still don't see it, but I feel like we're gonna get plow under very soon, so we don't want to just like fully commit into a line where it doesn't work. So now we have the option if we're super afraid of plow under, which I feel like sometimes you like just have to arsenal, right? But let's see, comparing arsenaling Art Lightning compared to just making an embodiment here. If we make an embodiment, we have go again, almost guaranteed unless they play Summer's Fall. Playing Arc Lightning is like having the go again plus the damage, but the fail case is they do have plow under and we don't have go again whatsoever. We draw a brick hand where it's really good attacks, but none of them have go again, especially since we've seen a few in our 3 Rabbles and our Entwined Lightning that we played this turn. That's the card that is easiest to get go again from. So I'm going to be a wuss here and not play what other people would deem to be correct. But since it is turn 7, so we're like 1 to 2 turns away from them seeing half the deck, and statistically you would like see at least 1 plow under by then, so we're going to make the embodiment instead. And we get punished the other way. It is a Summer's Fall. It's funny how things pan out. You play around one thing and you get got by another. It's okay. This hand functions without go again because most of it is instant. But yeah, sucks to suck, I guess. Yeah, we can Starfall. They don't defend. We can CLV. I like this play a lot. It forces them to like dreact if they want to deny us the CLV. Ooh, that's juicy. We get Flittering and give it go again by playing the ESD, and then we second strike and then create an embodiment, keep the CLV around. We already dodged the Summer's Fall because Summer's Fall can also tuck your CLV, which is nasty. And that's a card that a lot of Florians I feel like are going to play just because it's a very good way to fight Enigma. You can tuck Marigai with that thing. But sadly, it also works against us with our embodiments and our CLVs. So yeah, having a CLV around and we get to make either a rune chant or an embodiment is pretty nice. That's the first plow under we've seen, and they're blocking with both it and CNC because they know we're not going to have an arsenal for this turn. I usually lean on the side of creating an embodiment first, unless I know I have a go again generator and either Arc Lightning, Rabble, or Entwine at the top of my deck. But when you already have that, or you have like a sigil in play, which guarantees an embodiment next turn, then creating a rune chant just enables you to get value off of your Channel Lightning Valley easier. Okay, they're just swinging like a 1 card 4, create a rune chant, and then swing for 4. Again, still no reason to block out this vanilla damage. Now, we have 2 burn up shocks in hand. I think we want to cantrip one of those into another attack, since they're on no pitch. This is a card in arsenal and not in hand, which means they can't use it to pitch to pay for Arcane Barrier. So we're going to play... Oh, no. We're not going to shock there. We are going to pass blocks. We should have done it like before attacks, but yeah, let's just play this. Hopefully we draw into like a 4-power attack or an E-strike, which could wash away one of these 2 blues. It's another blue. Oh no, it's so bad. Okay, we're going to lead with Burn Up Shock. People usually don't like paying Arcane into this, especially when we have 3 cards and we have the ability to like swing weapon. But we're really praying that they don't, because we don't have a good way to deal with it. Because all of our attacks are like 2-power attacks. Ooh, they're letting it hit. Another blue? We only have like 12 blues in the entire deck. Getting Omega Giga punished. Okay, we definitely want 1 in the arsenal. We're definitely swing weapon, grasping, and creating an embodiment. That's creating 2 blues, so we're swinging with 1 card funnel. Let's think about which card we want in our arsenal. If we're already creating an embodiment, Sigil of Lightning loses a ton of its value. It does play around the opponent having Summer's Fall, but them keeping a full 5-card hand usually means they're sending something way more impactful than a Summer's Fall. So that leaves us with either Blink or Current Funnel. Oh, let's tell them that we're thinking. So yeah, Blink versus Current Funnel. Oh, Current Funnel is an attack, but Blink pairs way better with Giaf. It generates extra action points when we have a ton of attacks that does not naturally have Go Again. Current Funnel only works if we have a lightning attack or a lightning action before it, which we've already played 2 of our burn ups and 1 arc lightning to the bottom of the deck, and a few sizzles as well, if I remember. All 3 sizzles. So there's not many like naturally go again-y lightning thing, but we have the embodiment. So the higher value line is keeping a Current Funnel. It has a better floor, lower ceiling. Blink, if we draw a Giaf with it, is 4 value, but otherwise it's not very good. Okay, so what we'll do is... Ooh, actually we can grasp at the end. Yeah, we can grasp at the end. Or there's also a world where we send both Current Funnels if they don't let any of our attacks hit, because we want that burn-up value. We're given the burn-up value now, so yeah, we're going to arsenal our thingamabob. Yeah, them keeping 4 cards is super scary, because they don't usually do this. It's probably because they have Channel Mount Heroic plus something. Channel Mount Heroic, Rune Rager Swarm into Falling Off the Crown, attacking us for 6, and 11 tucking a card. That would be super scary. Yeah, CMH, card to pitch, Rune Rager, card to pitch, Felling. Bleh. We grasp and we embodiment. So we get to keep the CLV around, even though this turn was super low value. Jesus Christ, it was only like 8 value. Oh, Bramble Spark. Okay, we're probably losing something here. Yup. Plow under. Very interesting. Okay, we're going to cash in a little bit of the armor here. Their ability is online now, which is very scary, but we're going to cash in the front half of Grasp and Lightning Reeves. The game's not gonna go for very long, and we want to stay healthy enough that we just don't die outright to Rune Chants, because from now on, they can keep 1 blue in hand and get 5 value, 2 Rune Chants from Grasp, and 3 attack from Reaping Blade. And since we're on low blues and we just saw like 4 blues in our last hand, not very likely we're going to see blues in our next few hands. So we're not going to have like a card to pay for both Rune Chants. That means we're going to get chipped in for 2 every turn. That's assuming we have a 3 block to block the Reaping Blade. So that's why we blocked with our equipments there. We're going to E-Strike tuck our Electrify, since we have Fiendal to pay for our Weapon Swing, and in case we draw another blue, which is very unlikely, but can happen. Okay, we just want a way for us to get our CLV value. And we want to, blocking a lot here, which is great for us, because now we're going to play Arc Lightning, pinging 1, and then we Fiendal into Starfall, pinging 2 and 1, which means it's highly likely that we're going to draw a card on this attack. If they commit a block on this right now, we're going to send the Snatch with Go again. They're going to block out the 1 Arcane with their 1 remaining resource, but the Starfall right now will determine like what happens next. Okay, they're choosing to be wise with their blocks, so we get our CLV immediately. Okay. I think we can kill him from right here. We can Arcanic fuse it so it's coming in for 1, 4, and 1, and then we can Arc Lightning for 2 Arcane, and then Snatch Go again for 4 and 2 Arcane. Yeah, keeping our CLV around with our tons of blue hand and their super giga 5-card hand being not omega impactful was very good for us. Okay, now and then 1 Arcane here, and unless they have a D-React, this should be just game, because this is 2 Arcane and Snatch is for 4 and 2. Whew. Yeah, even if they have a D-React, they're going to die from the 2 Arcane. Whoa, they do have the D-React, but thankfully it was a second Arc Lightning, so they die to the 2 pings, like I said. Whew, that was one hell of a game. 10-turn match. Very, very interesting. The game's honestly pretty tight. They didn't draw too much disruption early game. They blocked with the second Falling of the Crown. They only sent 1 plow under. That's the type of game that you love seeing. You really hate it when the opponent sends you these big disruptive attacks. Means your offensive output is neutered, Meanwhile, the attacks themselves are pretty big, 6 and 8 for only 2 cards. Pretty scary, but overall, Aurora against Florian, I would say, is very, very slightly Aurora favored. Just being very mindful of how you set up and knowing what to arsenal, keeping embodiments when you can so you can do your offensive output, figuring out ways how you can trigger your CLV. For example, if they're looking like they have a dreact, slipping in a grasp for a rune chant might be the way that you get a card off of CLV. So grasp is not just here for the 3 block value. Good Aurora players will know how and when to use them for maximum value. But yeah, Florian's super scary. If we see at their list, it's just a bunch of disruptive, super strong, big attacks, blue 3 blocks, a really annoying card if they play it, if they go first and then they play it on their very first turn, and decompose, like even something as innocuous as Summer's Fall sometimes hinders our plans because they can tuck a CLV or an embodiment, and their late game value is they can block with 3 cards, sometimes buffed with Barkskin of the Millennium Tree. For example, if they block with a non-attack plus Barkskin on the first one, that's going to be blocking for 7 or 6 depending on the Barkskin block value, and then their next non-attack will also block for 4 or 5. And then they can pitch a single blue to grasp, creating 2 rune chants, and with the 1 remaining resource, Reaping Blade at you, sending 5, so they can consistently block for 9 or more and then send 5 at you with their ability online. And when you give them breathing room, because you might need to block out because their attacks are big and your life total is getting low, they can send even larger attacks in the form of Felling of the Crown or a very high value Dread Triptych, which can create up to 6 rune chants when Florian's ability is online, or even sometimes they use Germinate when they have multiple blues in hand, creating a few embodiments to help them block out the next turn, and also creating a few rune chants for offense, and then gaining them life on top of it. So yeah, that's it. My take for Aurora versus Florian in this early meta battles. Let me know what you think in the comment down below, and comment which hero would you like to see in the next early meta battle. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. That is the best free way you can support me creating free flesh and blood content straight to your YouTube video feed. As always, I've been Masbule Mayan, and sampai goodbye.